Hey, good morning, everybody. I got a really great article, classic silver porn. Anytime I can show a chart going to $900 silver, it gets me excited. But this has been a long, drawn out battle, one in which I've been engaged with since, I don't know, 2005, since I sold my house at the end of the last housing bubble. I'm in the process of selling my house at the end of this housing bubble. And I went all in on physical silver because I saw that all the world's wealth was built up on debt, unsustainable, immoral debt, and that there was very few asset classes that were immune to it. In fact, there was very few asset classes that did not benefit from it unless you got into silver. And that's where I've been, since 2005. Obviously, I've walked my talk for a very long time. I've not only, left the business that I was in, went into this business, and aligned my passion and my talents with my career, and it's turned into a much bigger thing. But I'm so happy about it because it's one of the few jobs that I can go to and be like very proud that I'm actually doing something to wake people up, to do something fun and create stuff that's going to be around for hundreds of years. And so when I see this, I know that we're on the right path. I've known all along that this global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme is going to collapse, that the financial, spiritual, emotional, psychological, historical ramifications of that will be the single largest event in human history, and that the people that can see it coming, prepare for it, get into physical silver ahead of time, will be the ones that will be the meek that inherit the earth, and that will go about creating true generational wealth for all that they know and all that they care about. But how do we get from $14 silver to saving the world? Well, this will kind of give you the idea of how that happens in the real world. So the chart that I wanted to start off with is this. And again, I am not with all these technical Fibonacci trading. We don't live in a free market economy that I think anybody can use that reliably. All this is constant interventions by central banks into all markets. People go, oh, how does silver stay at $14? If all that you say is true, Chris, how does the silver stay at $14? Well, they spend $5 trillion a year in paper silver contracts on an annually mined $15 billion a year silver mining globally. So they just throw trillions on top of billions, and not every ounce of silver goes through the COMEX. So the scale is beyond. The point is that at some point, they won't be able to do that anymore. Whether that happens from a global economic collapse, World War III, whatever, at some point, the illusion ceases to be profitable and people will get into their animal instincts and throw everything that they have at getting something real. When the stocks are getting destroyed, the purchasing power of the currency is getting destroyed, when nations are getting destroyed, people will want real, tangible wealth. No paper promises, no pay you on Tuesday. This will be the animal instincts that will kick in. And it will go down Exeter's pyramid into the most safest and liquid form of assets that are out there. And it will go from the worst digital illusions of wealth, the cryptos, the derivatives, the stocks, the bonds, real estate, all those things go down into cash. But when they realize that this financial crisis is about the war on cash, and that the dollar is what the main attack is going to be on, they'll want to get out of dollars. And then where will they go to? Are they going to go into the SDR, Facebook cryptocurrency that's half dollar and then filled with other currencies that also have generational global problems, debt problems? No. They'll go into gold, which already is a $2.4 trillion market. And when people realize, the average person out there realizes, oh, gold's now $5,000, $4,000, they're going to go, try going to your wife and saying, here's $4,000 and here's this little teeny coin that we got. When in reality, and I know for a fact, all these people will then go, oh God, silver, look at how cheap it is. Oh, it has industrial uses. Oh, it's rarer than gold. Oh, why am I not buying all of it? That's when we're going to go. And this is where this chart is going to represent. And it should, in theory, happen very quickly. Because once the illusion is broken, the animal instincts of the market will kick in. And we'll see a rush past these numbers. So I'm hoping that it started, Wednesday when we were on the verge of World War III and Trump backed out. But at very close intervals, I would imagine that $26 silver is probably the next important line that we have to get to. That's where, we had that big breakout up to 50 last time. And that's when I would finally start saying, okay, we're in a true bull market for silver. This whole time period since 2011, it's over. It is now a new reality where people start to realize, and it's not just individual investors that are going to go, oh, silver. Think about the corporations with their billion-dollar market caps like Apple and Tesla and all these other companies out there starting to realize, we're into a period of humanity where the industrial goods, the rare earth metals, the things that our companies' valuations are built off of, are in short demand. You don't think Apple's out there with $250 billion of cash wouldn't throw $1 billion on the market to secure as much silver as they could if they felt that was something that they had to worry about? Or what about the nations? Now we actually have a huge divide between China and the United States and who's on whose side. And they're going to have an economic, military, spiritual war against each other. Who's not going to want physical silver? So that's when I think at $26 silver, you'll start to see guys like, all the YouTube guys here getting hammered up and being happy about, silver's starting to rise and finally doing what it should be doing this whole time. And we'll get more excited. And we're the ones that are going to jam up the mints. That's when premiums are going to rise. That's when delivery times are going to get extended. That's where the risk of silver starting to be shipped through mail starts getting difficult. These are all the things that are going to happen before the average people, before your friends and family go, I remember you buying silver 10 years ago. Oh, now it's popular again. Oh, tell me about it. And then they start going into it like they did with these cryptos, just throwing money at it because they don't know what else to do. That's when we're going to plow through $50 silver, which is already at a ridiculously low level in real terms. Like $50 silver now is not the same $50 silver in 1980. There's probably 10 times, 20 times more physical money, debt money out there than it was back in the 80s, maybe even more than that. I'm sure if you did a real inflation-adjusted number of that $50 silver back then, it's probably $900 silver right now, which is where we're going next. That's what happens with these trades. They keep going up until they get to the period up there. So then the next question is, I had somebody go, Chris, what will you do when we have $900 silver? I will hold. It's not the end of it. $900 silver is not the place to plant the flag and go, that's it. Never going to go higher. Because at that point, that's when the hyperinflation, I think, is going to kick in. When it becomes ridiculous on all levels that all things will be destroyed. And that's where I think it's going to be very difficult for a lot of people to see. And the reason why I lay this out is because when the time does come, I want you to have all this time before. Yeah, dream about $900 silver and what you're going to do with it while it's at $14, because I tell you what, the more time and patience that you put into the world that you want to create and how you're going to get there, that's where I think it's going to be the most important thing to do. Because I can tell you what, there's going to be a lot of people here go, $50 silver, I'm out. And they'll miss this huge run to 900. And there's going to be people at 900 go, I'm out. And they'll miss the hyperinflation and absolutely be devastated. Like, if you sold silver at $900 Bolivar in Venezuela, guess what? You're broke. You're eating rats. Because they kept pumping more currency out there and you didn't have any real tangible wealth. You hold the silver until there's a new economic, political order out there. What that turns into, I don't know. Are we going to get Mark of the Beast? Probably. But you have to hold your wealth through that period into whatever the next financial paradigm is, where there is a stable currency out there, where the governments are not at war with each other, where governments are actually interested in getting rid of land, unproductive land, to individuals who are going to do something with it. That's where you hold your silver to. So I hope all these 1,700 videos, the 600 Silver Shield designs that I've done, I hope that this ends up turning into something amazing on the other side. That people actually, lives are changed, that their generational wealth is changed. Because individuals were consciously aware about the immoral and unsustainable paradigm that we're living in. And took the time and effort and patience to invest and think and create something better on the other side.